I was still a young student in 1951. When the Vishwabharati University Act was passed in Parliament, the intense debate which took place, Maulana Abul Kalam Azad was the Education Minister at that point of time, and Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was the Prime Minister. And there was a question that whether the Prime Minister of a country should be the Chancellor of any particular university. Nehru's response was blunt and straight. He said, I do consider to have the distinction of being the Vice Chancellor, of the Chancellor of Vishwabharati University will not demean the prestige of Prime Minister. It will enhance the prestige and dignity of the Prime Minister of India. Until today, that tradition is being maintained. Except for a short break between 1977 to 1980, all Prime Ministers, starting from Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru to Dr. Manmohan Singh, have become the Chancellor. The short point which I am trying to drive at, that if we recognize Vishwabharati as an unique institution, we shall have to provide adequate flexibility in our system. If it is not there, we must rediscover it, we must reinvent it, and we must provide that flexibility. Because what I find after becoming the President of the Republic, I can candidly admit before you, I had no idea as the ex officio visitor what I have to do. Because my mindset, even being in the government for a very long period of time and in Parliament for more than 4 decades, my mindset was totally different. I thought that only a few institutions are there. But there has been a tremendous physical expansion of the higher education system in the 11th plan. Right now, when I am speaking before you, there are 659 degree-giving institutions which are called universities. 659. 33,000 degree colleges. 2,86,000 students enrolled in the higher education. 30 NITs. 16 IITs. Apart from the institutions of business management and other specialized areas. But if we want to have a uniform structure, uniform pattern for all these institutions, I am afraid we may not do justice to all of them. Yes, there will be certain categories of university. There will be certain exceptions. There will be certain unique institutions which we shall have to keep in mind while formulating them. Tagore himself mentioned while establishing the Vishwabharati University, I quote, it was an incessant lesson to me, and the institution grew with the growth of my own mind and life. With the increase of its population and widening of range, elements have constantly been intruding which go against the spirit of freedom and spontaneity. The consequential struggle has been helpful in strengthening and making us realize the fundamental truth which is in the heart of our ashram. But that which keeps up my enthusiasm is the fact that we have not yet come to a conclusion, and therefore our task is not a perpetual repetition of a plan perfected once for all. This institution should be a perpetual creation by the cooperative enthusiasm of teachers and students, unquote. This perpetual creation should be the motive force of the institutions. Once designed, once formulated, once laid out, architecture being put into place is not adequate unless we can adjust it, reinvent it with the passage of time, with the requirement of time. Educational system which was experimented here. Just now before coming here, I went to formally inaugurate Bhasha Vidya Bhavan. Very aptly it has been pointed just on a plaque while we enter on the left hand side of the gate. And most aptly, that knowledge cannot be confined within four walls of our domestic home. It can never be confined. Knowledge is constant. Knowledge is expanding. It is infinite. And if it is infinite, how could we confine itself to a one pattern, to a one structure, to one shape? And especially Vishwabharati, where we have the learned faculties, creative minds, I urge them to ponder over it and come out with a solution. And solution must be pragmatic and realistic. I would like to say a few words addressing to our young students. We shall have to, you are just leaving the portal of your alma mater after achieving your degrees. This day is the day of recognition of your merit, of your hard work, of your devotion to your studies, your commitment to your studies. But after graduating, when you are entering into the outer world, what should be your approach? Yes, every one of us would like to build our career, would like to be very successful in life, successful in the material sense. Nothing wrong in it. This is quite natural. And all of us should aspire to do that. But at the same time, can we forget that we are the products of a society? We are not in isolation. As we are linked with nature, we are linked with human beings. We are linked with others. And I have an obligation to them also. Therefore, my advice as an elder to young graduates: enter the outer world with courage, conviction, and always remember what is most important for every citizen to remember. 60 years ago, Kennedy told to his American citizens, question is not what the country can give you, question is what you can give to the country. Please think of that. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Jai Hind.